What is this? The second time this month? You don't even know, Ryan. You don't even know what you're getting yourself into. Don't let the facts is back. I think our last one was like September 2nd or something like that. It's good to see you. This is our second one of the day, though. Listen, are we already not letting the facts? Wait, are we letting the facts? I don't even know anymore. For those paying attention, this is don't let the facts. Unclear what I don't even know. Ryan, what you got all feisty at me earlier today. You decided to make some wild accusations. Let's talk about it.
You're coming off the top rope first thing. Okay. You're the one
Might as well
declared war. So let's start there. I mean, why? Let's start with the fact that I wanted to declare war, and you're like, no, we need to mutually agree on the terms of the war. And then you go launch a preemptive strike. I mean,
I was clearly reading from the U.S. military code. What's your point?
Oh, well, then you're going to lose. Okay, well then you're going to lose. I didn't know.
Are you sure?
Yeah, if you're going from. I mean, did you watch the Afghanistan debacle?
I thought we weren't going to talk about things like that, or like the C word, or or
Wrap it up.
Like with the counter for those paying attention at home is in 1:50. We couldn't even get the 2-minute mark before Ryan's just. I mean, unbelievable.
You brought it up. Apologies for coughing there. I couldn't get the mute button. You brought it up. You said, and I quote, "I follow the American military strategy." Okay, well, I just said you're going to lose. You said why, and I gave you recent application evidence. That's pretty good.
Well, as long as I have the budget requisite with, I mean, listen. Let's just not. So, let's play Star Wars trivia. Let's do that. Let's play Star Wars trivia. So
you don't know anything,
Ryan.
Easy.
Ryan. That's why. No, I'm asking the questions, not answering the questions. Let's see. Name for me 5 different planets in the Star Wars timeline.
5. Coruscant, Mustafar, Kamino, Tatooine, Cloud City.
I'm disappointed that you didn't say Hoth.
I'm sure you are disappointed. But see, that's like the only planet you know, so I wanted to expand your knowledge base.
Well, no, there's Alderaan. There's Alderaan. There's
Endor.
Too. Endor, yeah. There's Endor, yeah. Listen, okay. So for those that need some context, Ryan is admittedly a Star Wars aficionado savant. Like he to the level that he had I don't know if it's still going, but it had a podcast walking through the entirety of the Star Wars movie timeline. I think they did every single one with like intimate detail down to like scene by scene breakdown. Now I'm a fan. I'm not, a fan in the sense that I had probably seen each movie, individually 3 to 5 times, and I have a general sense of the players, etc. But I by no means have anywhere near a mastery or even a healthy grasp on the like subplot characters. Mr. Ray over here is I don't even know. So Ryan, I apologize for not being at your level. Chalk that up for just one of the other things that that you have to dumb down for me. I'm sorry.
Right. So I've got a new company. I'm gonna make this public. Hoth Ventures.
Hoth Ventures. See, there's a whole thing about this.
Publicly, I'm making the announcement. I copyrighted it today. Hoth Ventures is a Ryan Ray property. copyrighted now that I said it publicly. So thank you for that.
For those paying attention, or like grew up, in an American household, like some of us did, because some of us love freedom. There's something called calling shotgun. And so there's this principle: when someone calls something, you're not allowed to jump in front. And so if someone says, "I call shotgun," and you're looking at the car, that's the person that gets the seat. Now, Ryan, do you agree with that premise? Like, did you play the game Shotgun as a kid? Okay. Does that play today?
The question would be in this context is: does the inventor of Shotgun then have to call Shotgun? Like, he invented the game. Doesn't he get like the first dibs of it?
Oh, so ostensibly you created Shotgun? Is that what we're doing? Is that what's happening here? Is that what's happening?
I mean, you didn't know Hoth existed 2 days ago.
I don't see how that's relevant to this conversation.
You can't invent something you don't know exists.
But
You're not.
But post existence awareness, which is now where we are.
You did not throw some petri dishes in the sink and come back and go, "Oh, penicillin!" Like, that's not what happened here, okay?
No, I took someone else's half-baked idea and I made it substantively better, which is the American way, which is why I deserve it. Like,
that's a good argument. That is the American way.
I mean, what
appropriated my name that I took from George Lucas.
Wait, is that about me or you? I don't even know. Wait, what's happening?
He looks like a Jay and Silent Bob. I never watched Jay and Silent Bob, so I don't know.
Oh man, it's been like 15 years since I've seen.
Yeah, it's been like 1 or 2, but I don't know.
It's been a long time.
That with like the robot and the dude there, or is that something else? Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah, it's been. I forgot about Jay and Silent Bob.
There's a guy in that movie called Bob, and I think he's probably pretty silent. He probably doesn't have very many lines.
Oh no, I'm thinking the wrong thing altogether. So no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Clay. I don't get the reference.
I don't either. Sorry. Swing and a miss.
Derogatory about him though, so that's good.
Swing and a miss, Clay. That doesn't happen often, but it happens to the best of us. If you want to clarify.
Being more than others, but whatever.
Yeah, but
declared, my friend, by you, publicly on LinkedIn against me.
Well,
say that I you.
Clay just comes at at the appropriate party, and generally it's more often it's you that's giving him reason to giving him cannon fodder. So wait, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, Hoth Ventures. So let's talk about partnerships. let's just swim into the deep end here.
Someone who's been married 15 years in October. Go ahead. I'm happy. Let's go.
How many?
15.
All right. So you were saying something earlier today about like a medal of honor, medal of freedom, medal of something. Haley deserves like 7 of those. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of years. That's a commitment. He says it's a Star Wars reference. I'm skeptical.
And Silent Bob. Is it Star Wars?
I'm skeptical.
I haven't seen it.
So
we're not hooked up to calls. So.
Where is it going with that? 15 years.
You're seeding Hoth Ventures.
No, that's definitely not what was happening.
That's exactly.
Wait, no. So 15 years. That's a number. That's impressive. Congratulations in advance.
October 7th. So 7 days from today, next Thursday. So I will be may or may not be here next Thursday. Yeah, 15 years Thursday.
Do you guys usually do like a date night or something, or go out on or just another day in the calendar?
Well, when you got 4 kids, it's kind of hard to get a babysitter sometimes. So we live away from the family, so it's kind of.
I'll babysit.
Can you read below? War has been declared.
That was a quick mute. That was an aggressive mute after I said that. I'm just but whatever. Okay.
Listen, we've got like cedar trees all around us, and my sinuses are all jacked up. So I am just all jacked.
Oh, I was waiting for. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Yeah, you said I was all jacked up, and that's sort of like a daily occurrence. I was waiting for. Then the allergies is why. Okay, it took me a minute to put that together. I apologize.
Back to
Partnerships. Yeah, thank you. Partnerships. Um, so you know in the last, let's say, 3 or 4 months, I've seen a number of posts come from you on LinkedIn. About I think I saw one a couple days ago. You're selling some beef for some partners that you have, for some cattle partners, cattle ranchers. You've put out a number of other things. Whether I know you've got to talk later on Jubilee, and you're working with those guys. How do you sort of see a good quality partnership working? What are some of those elements to you that make that work? I don't know why you're laughing. Well, this is dangerous territory. You're already laughing before you even answer the question. This is not good.
That's why. And you know why. I hate you.
Yeah.
Okay, for those watching at home, Ben is the master of acting like, for you people, that he's asking me a serious question. There's nothing serious at all about what he's saying. This is a full war has been declared.
That was such a good question. That was so well articulated. That was such a beautiful question. What do you mean? What do you mean, Ryan? That there was no ulterior motive there. What?
Unbelievable. So let's just tell the story, Ben. I'll let you tell the story. You go ahead. You tell the story so people will know what's going on. Go ahead.
I just want you to answer the question. I just want you to answer the question.
To announce later on, but go ahead.
You're punting the question for no reason. You see? I'm just trying to give you an opportunity to talk about the beef and minerals and I don't even know what else. Other stuff.
I like people. I like working with people. I like people. Yeah, so see, Clay, I have to go watch James Alabama. I don't get the reference, unfortunately. If I've seen it,
I'm still not sure how that's the Star Wars reference. That's interesting. Anyways,
I'm lost. I'm slow.
What's happening?
Yeah.
I asked you a good quality question, and you made it about me somehow. What's happening?
I'll tell you what I like, Ben. I like working in partnerships that have clear defined roles and definitions, structure, organization that allow me to come in and to do what I do better than anyone else on the planet. Okay, that's what I like.
Which is
nothing, like not work and get paid. But that's beside the point. Why is that relevant? How are you gonna ask that question? I was on a roll. Why?
I just at times I think I've said this to you on the podcast a number of times. So for repeat listeners, this probably isn't anything new. But your self-awareness is at all times is on point. So that is an underappreciated skill.
Like I said, better than anyone else on this planet. No one's more self-aware than you. No one.
So what's this new partnership that you're announcing? Let's get into that.
Well, I had one that fell apart this morning, oddly enough, for reasons.
Wouldn't have any idea what you're talking about. Wouldn't have any clue.
No idea what happened this morning. Okay.
No idea. No.
And it fell apart this morning, and so, yeah. And so, hey, if you want to purchase minerals, Clay, holler at your boy. I'll take care of you.
Oh, is this just for Clay? Nobody else?
Well, Clay commented on the thing.
But I'm just saying.
If anyone that's an accredited investor wants to purchase minerals, holla at your boy. If you're not an accredited investor, I'm sorry, I can't help you out. I can't help you become one, but I can't help you. So this morning I got a call from a dear friend of mine, and he was pretty distraught. You could tell he hadn't slept good last night. And we were going to do a deal together. Couple deals probably, and he just ripped the band off. So it's not going to work, and I understood his reason. It made a lot of sense to me. He was generous enough to give me one of the deals that he had facilitated to me, no questions asked. That I could work on, so that was nice of him. And so
we're definitely not letting the facts. Okay.
Well, I mean, he was introduced to the guy by someone else that the other person doesn't know. he had several calls over the course of a year with this guy. And then the ability to with the contract was whatever. So that fell apart. And so it's been a rough day on me.
Oh, that's the drop the mic moment. That's where we're cutting the ripcord. Oh, okay. So. Communication is an incredibly important part of any partnership or podcast duo or talking head duo and any of these things. Communication is a very important element. And saying what you mean and meaning what you say and being articulate and conveying the message clearly is also, these are all important skills, some of which we possess more than others. I'm still confused as to what happened. I feel like I asked a good question and then somehow this got turned on me and like on air you tried to steal the LLC name like live as if that was gonna work. Like I
pulled the Michael Scott. I declare bankruptcy.
I'm so confused. What?
Nothing else for the listeners. What are you confused about? I want Hoth Ventures. That's all I want.
Clay, we're not cool enough. We weren't invited. If I was the people that were invited, I would have. I'd be on the list. I wasn't asked. Very insert sad face here. And there's no way that Ryan would come out to Midland anyways. So
I don't know about it. I don't get invited to those events.
Exactly.
All I do is have on.
You know what? I was thinking this was the last show we were on. This is like a whole different show. This is Don't Let the Facts. Let's talk about. Oh wait. No, you told me. Wait, you said on air we weren't talking about that. Never mind. Crap.
This show is the passive aggressiveness on this show is like LeBron James level. Like we are LeBron James level.
I feel like that's insulting to us. That might be insulting to LeBron. That's not okay. Regardless, that it's not okay that you said that.
Ooh.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Mad about it.
The cat was a little angry.
The cat was a LeBron fan. I apologize.
Well, don't put that evil on her. That's not appropriate.
You're over there.
By the way, no, I was just about to say you've been a LeBron like apologist for like the last 2 years running.
Yeah, we are not letting the facts today. Did you watch Monday Night Football?
You said war had been declared, and then so far, not what's going on here? Nothing's happened yet.
Oh, there's a lot that's happened between me and you. That's what I said. It's a lot of LeBron James level passive aggressiveness that's happened on this podcast. I don't know if anyone else knows what's going on, but there's a lot happening.
You would be a podcast flopper. You're gonna create a new category.
So what's the first competition? Because you mentioned that today. What are we going to?
So,
I want to go popcorn sales at a stadium. We can go out to Midland at one of their little baseball games, and I will pound you popcorn sales. I mean, listen, I can only go up down the stairs once or twice, and I'm done. I need one of those little things that carries me up the thing.
Is this one of those we're actually going to be competing apples to apples, or you're going to be making some side deals that I'm not aware of, and that's just part of the deal? I just need to know the ground rules. Yeah, see the way your face is contorted scares me.
Well, I don't know what the relevance of my side deals are to you, but whatever.
Why don't we sell? We should sell Girl Scout cookies and see what happens.
$3. Let's do it. Deal. Done.
No, your daughter. Your children can't help.
Why can't they? They're girls. That's part of it.
Because it's not. Because yeah, you would use free labor. You would.
You're gonna be the creepy old dude out in front of Walmart putting Samoans. What are they called? What are they called? The Samoans? I hadn't had one in so long.
Look. Leave it to the libertarian to use child labor.
You're gonna be out there saying thin mints? Get some thin mints. Get some thin mints out here. They're gonna be like, sir, do you have a young child in?
Don't worry about it. Not important. I have a contest to win.
You're gonna
Don't
say
worry.
yes. I know what you're gonna say. I will just have my daughters there, and we'll pretend that they're Girl Scouts. They won't answer the question.
All right, so I don't think I've ever been called passive before, like in my life. So this is a first. So that's new. But the last part is probably true. He's gonna feel like he needs to, if nothing else. Are the Red Sox gonna make the playoffs?
Wait. I called you out. You said you wanted a challenge. I called you out, and you're like,
Oh,
Girl Scout.
I don't know. No, we need to think about that. I don't know. We need to come up with an apples. No, what we need to do is.
Hold on. I know a guy in Oklahoma, and he sells mineral deals. No,
I'm listening. What else you got?
we could cold call for him. You might
Couldn't pay me. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No question. No, absolutely not. No, Clay, why don't you let us sell? I think he works for Valence Drilling Fluids, I believe. Why don't you let us sell drilling fluid for a quarter?
I mean, okay. I don't know. What is the sales cycle on that? I don't even know. Is it
I
like
have no idea.
Yeah, me either.
No, but no. The point being, I mean, if we're going to do that, I think we just need to find like one product or one thing or one like something that's apples to apples. I mean, if you're
No. I got it.
Uh-oh.
I got it. Let's see here. If I have one laying around.
Can we sell Cutco?
You've got an advantage. Let's do the paperclip challenge.
No. What? I'm terrible at that.
You can't.
I actually like care about people. I want everyone to win.
How does the paperclip challenge not allow them to win?
Okay, first of all, you're leaving the facts. Second of all, no, because like you have to like lean on people's sympathy of like, oh my, like, because. What's happening? Are we getting commission now? Is that what's going on?
Oh well, we ain't doing it.
Well, Clay. I mean, so Ryan and I had lined up to do a Chick-fil-A nugget challenge, and he bowed out after. I think after seeing me order one day, he bowed out. He was like, "Okay, never mind." Oh, are we changing the story now? Is that what's happening?
We're not.
All right, when are we doing the nugget challenge then? We had talked about it, and you were. Oh no, that's right. No, he pretended to go on a liquid diet because he had to get his whatever, and that was conveniently timed around the time we were going to do the contest. That's right. That's what it was. So when are we? So let's do that first. When are we doing the nugget challenge?
Whatever. Next time I see you. Aren't you coming to Dallas? Did you come to Dallas?
So like 2023.
That's a little.
You've been threatening to move to Midland for a while. You should just do that.
Listen. Clay says we can sell for him, and he'll pay us commission.
I feel like Clay should pay us double commission.
A sponsorship fee, probably.
Don't you?
I mean, at least.
I mean,
if I just made one sale, I'd win. So it's not like it's that hard.
Nah, you probably have to make two.
Make two.
I'm gonna at least get one. I mean, you got to give me like one.
You're calling in a favor somewhere, and yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, like if I pay for it myself, it's still in order. Like I don't,
Yeah, maybe three. Then you'd buy one. You'd call in a favor. Yes.
I'd probably con you into paying for one invoice.
That's four. Okay, so four. It is 4. It's getting a lot of work.
See, now you're up to you got to get 5. Can you get 5?
I thought I was at 4.
But if I get 4, then you have to get 5.
Pull up Clay's last comment about telling self for my company. Yeah, listen, this ain't no full-time job, Clay. This is retainer plus commission work. Retainer's pretty low, a lot lower than you're going to pay for some sales guy. And we'll do it. Put the sales cycle in there. I mean, how long does it take normally to close a sale? I don't know. And me and Ben will look at it. I would love to dominate you in selling clean fluid.
You don't even. You wouldn't even know what to do with yourself.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what it is. What are you talking about, like NASCAR? What?
What's happening?
I can get you a contact of our company. Right.
It's this stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's telling Clay. It's a small, cheap retainer plus commission. We'll get it done. I,
It, what's happening?
nothing. I mean, I'm just signing clients up for podcast. Go ahead.
Let's go. Let's go.
Do it.
Look. You've been threatening to do this for a long time, and every time I've thrown something out, you've conveniently come up with a reason why it can't work. And so let's thank you, Clay. I appreciate you finally coming to the bat and making Ryan do this. That's good. It's about time.
A quarter. Who said a quarter? I don't know.
What?
He said a quarter. I don't know something. Plays last comment. Yeah, just get it set up. Small retainer.
I said for us, so like to sell for a quarter.
Oh yeah, quarter. Yeah. No. So yeah, Clay. So is a quarter like some things take 6, 8, 9 months before you can actually make a sale. I don't know anything about the schedule on drilling fluid. So is a quarter enough time to actually make a sale, or would it take longer?
Well, I mean, it's probably not long enough for mere mortals.
Right. I mean, I will have them sold out by Tuesday, but whatever. What if? Okay, here's the real question, Bill. We take this challenge. Me and you sell so much. By the end of the quarter, they want to retain us full time. We've got a problem. Are your cats?
Do we?
Yeah.
Yes. There's a battle going on in the house that I'm not privy to, but for some reason,
I guess there's a cat off the screen onto your face.
It's possible. Apparently, did you know that apparently household cats are the most notorious for eating their owners if they like die in the house and don't get found by someone?
I can see that. Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. Just just helpful tidbits.
And you have like 7 of them.
2. I'm not some like crazy cat hoarder. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Just have 2. Just 2 of them.
2 that you can see. But whatever. I love it. I'm so glad we're on the show today. Hey,
Me too.
Speaking of which, Ben and I do a series show called Bringing the Closers. Season 2 just dropped today. We talk about influencers, marketing, me fighting Jake and Logan Paul, all kinds of good stuff. It's I'd say it's serious, and the Jake and Logan Paul thing might not exactly fit in there, but whatever. So there it is. Bringing the Closers. Wherever you get podcasts, it's out. Season 2 dropped today. So.
If you follow Ryan on Twitter, drop a comment under one of his most recent posts with a sketch of the tattoo that he wants that he should get Jake Paul to get when he beats him. So we have that.
It's on his head. He won't need to get another.
I still want this to happen. If anybody listening has connections to Jake or Logan Paul, please go all out. Let's get this done. Ryan Ray has said on air that he will wax the floor with not one, but not either, but both of them. And so we need to have this happen.
Here are my terms. They're very simple. I just need a 6-month time. They pay for camps. They got to pay me a fee. I'll do it for free. They got to pay for the coach, which your coach fee comes out of your purse. So,
Clay, I'm disappointed you even had to ask that question.
Let me put it in terms that people can understand. If you took your best salesperson and you multiply it times 10, they still wouldn't be close to us. That's roughly where we're at. Was that too aggressive?
Hey, listen. I mean, I don't think it's aggressive if we can back it up. Look, just give Ryan a shot at selling some drilling fluid, and he'll do the second best job you could see.
We'll find out.
We're about to. We're going to.
The president of what's it called? Balance. Drilling is
Valence.
Yeah. Who?
Valence. I'm pretty sure. Clay, if you're able to drop in the comment what you think the top earner for sales guy. I'm assuming they work mostly on commission. What's the top earner for a year made And Ryan and I are going to try to clear that in a quarter. How about that? No? Was that too aggressive? Was that too much?
I mean, we call in a deal with Exxon and sell, like take their whole account over. Probably not. Yeah, and this commission be reoccurring, right? Like we can't go.
You call Exxon, and I'll call.
You'd call Shale.
Oh, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that out loud.
That's
aggressive. That's just mean. That's uncalled for.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. So, how good of a salesman? Well, I mean, so I guess let's answer that question. That's a great question. How good of a salesman do you think you are, Ben? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, honestly, the pantheon of salesmen, where do you rank yourself, Ben?
So I'll try to give a short answer to that, but I think some important context there is sort of what is a salesman, and I think that term a lot of times gets sort of confused with some other terminology, and the reason I say that is because in something that you and I talked about a little bit off air, I think it was yesterday. I think for some reason there's sort of this mantra in sales, or there has been in the past at least, of the cold call guy and smile and dial, and you dial 100 100 numbers, and you have conversations with people, and you try to sell, and you close a certain number of those, and sort of the great salesman moniker or stamp was based on sort of an effort metric or a reach metric, as opposed to cultivating good quality relationships and maybe having a slower and a smaller reach, more effective. And so kind of through that prism, through the the networking and relationship building and being able to have more of a consultancy role in sales, because I don't think that I think the days of like the hard sell, just I'm going to call this guy 100 days in a row until he buys from me, I think those days maybe they're not over, but I think the winds have shifted to more of being able to listen. To your point, I think you're a great example of this. You have a wide enough net of from beef to minerals to software companies to other things, that as you're in conversation with people that are looking to acquire things, if somebody in conversation says, oh, I'd love to buy some beef, like you have a direct deal for them, you can provide value. And I think through that sort of prism, I think the sales sort of take care of themselves in response to specific, like if you have a product. So if you're trying to sell valence drilling fluids, your ability or my ability to, again, learn the product and be able to sort of cultivate who do I need to talk to, who are the decision makers, and cut out a lot of that noise is what makes us. I think that's the differentiator. I don't think it's like the silver tongue or knowing what to say in any one moment. I think it's much more about process and sort of approach than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all that. One thing I'd add is understanding that we talked about the bring the closers some, but there's just certain people who aren't good fits. Yeah, okay. If anyone wants to find out about that, but
Clay, if you want to be, so we're not going to probably be able to get Paul, one of the Paul brothers, on in the ring in 6 months. So why don't we have a Clay versus Ryan, which is kind of preamble in May, get that get the wheels grind pumping, and then work on the bigger one. Clay, you want to step in?
Because you punch up, not down. Punch up, not down. Like Clay's punching up to me, but I punch up to Paul. So that's how that works.
But you gotta like
tune-up fight.
So we need to call Colin. Is that what you're saying?
I was waiting on that. I've been waiting on it the whole time. But what I was gonna say is, like, there's certain. So take women's clothing. I could sell women's clothing, but I'd probably struggle at it, right? So understanding that there's certain products and services that just aren't a fit for you. And I learned this by watching my sales guys interact with certain customers. I had some sales guys who could not sell to engineers. They really struggled. It wasn't. It was the same sales pitch they'd give to a right-of-way guy or end guy. It's just their personality wasn't in tune with an engineer. And so you talk about how good of a salesperson you are. Like, turn on Grant Cardone. If you go to his conference, which you've been to, I bet he, by and large, attracts 80% of the same personality type. By and large, and he's just doing that on scale. So he's selling to the same personality type on scale. I think that's what makes a good salesperson. is figuring out what kind of products can you sell, and then doing that as much over and over and over as possible. And what kind of so to your point about smiling and dialing, there's some dudes who are really good on the phone and they like calling 100 people a day, and they figured that out. And I'm not a big fan of that method either.
But my point there is that those people, even those people, would be much more effective if they took some time to qualify the lead and made 18 calls to qualified people, as opposed to just open up the phone book and dialing 100 numbers.
So I don't know if we agree or disagree here. We got to talk through this. And pull up plays last week here. Pull up plays last week here.
Which one? This one?
Yeah. See, I think that's a fundamental misunderstanding of sales. Like, I think you like. So, for instance, let's say you sold drilling rigs. I don't. Let's say you sold them. To presume that you could sell a drilling rig in a quarter is not because the way drilling rigs work is probably an overestimate, or offshore rigs, because those are even harder to move, right? So the certain things just have longer sales cycles than others. And so it doesn't matter how good or bad you are. Theoretically, it's possible, but there is this probabilities of, if it takes, you guys are doing it on a full-time basis right now, and it takes you guys 9 months to close it from first contact, well then, yeah, Ben and I might have better connections and might pull off some sales in the first quarter. But by and large, if it's taking you guys 9 months, it would take takes maybe a 6 or 7 months or longer. So that's part of it. You can't say the sales cycle doesn't matter. That's a real thing.
Right. You're absolutely right. I mean, and I think the what was I going to say? I totally lost my train of thought. I lost it.
Well, let's go back to what I was saying before, which is about picking your battles. I think that's that's really the hard part, which is how do you know what things you can and cannot sell? And so, and also, there's a book I got called "Spin Selling." I think you've read too. There's a certain mentality of selling low ticket items or side ticket items. So when you're talking about that calling, that pounding the phone calling, right? I think that works probably better on the lower of the ticket sale it is, right? So the higher up the threshold goes, the more networking, the more in person, the more that's involved. The lower the threshold goes, the more pounding the phones is better. The other thing I'll say though is if you're in a spot where you're just starting out, it's kind of hard to pre-qualify your leads. So what I would suggest is maybe making those 100 phone calls, trying to figure out what personality types like to talk to you, respond to your messaging, which ones don't. So part of that 100 phone calls a day can be useful if you know what you're doing. Now, if you're just calling 100 people and you're not paying attention to, it seems like the engineers like you or whatever it is, then you're wasting your time.
So here's the put that up while here's the issue that I have with that though, because while I agree with you, I think pre-qualifying leads is sort of a misnomer to a degree and can be defined in a number of different ways. What I'm more so saying is I think the time spent on understanding. So when I say smile and dial and call 100 names, I'm sort of assuming that you are literally, you're pulling out of the white pages and you're calling off of like a phone number directory or like by address or something of that nature. And if that's sort of the genericness of the leads, it's setting the time to call out, if you're, if you're selling a body butter, you probably don't need to be calling men, right? Or right, or whatever. There's certain generalized buckets where I think the people that are just like calling. So if you're calling for drilling fluid and you're calling everybody, what's that?
You're calling the landman,
right? Yeah. Like there's no point in the phone call.
Right. Okay. Yes. So on that we agree. Yes. If that's what you're saying by pre-qualifying, yes, I agree. The problem, the reason I kind of push back on it is salespeople are usually lazy, and so they hear pre-qualifying, and so they're like, "Oh, well, I need to spend 16 hours pre-qualifying." It's like, no. Oh. You've got 100 lists of drilling managers. Call them, right?
I remember what I was going to say before. Yeah. So I think one of the main issues, though, that you also find with making the 100 phone calls is two things. Number one, if you're focused on that, you're more. I feel like those people may be more focused on getting off the phone of a call because they want to get to the next one, and may lose some of the nuance of some of the words that someone else may be saying that are actually buy signals, but they're not necessarily keyed in because they want to get to the next phone call. So it develops a sort of turn and burn mentality. And then second to that, the secondary, which I think is a direct correlation to that also, is that if you are making 100 calls a day, let's say that you're that things are going well and you're making a lot of deals and a lot of things are happening, you may walk yourself into a scenario where you have too much on your plate and now your service level begins to drop, as opposed to if you have a lower volume, you have a better gate on workflow. And so those are the two things that I think sort of indicate to me that someone should be calling less. But you seem to have something to say about the first one.
Right. So I think the problem that you talk about pre-qualifying, this is a great pre-qualifier, which is why are you calling? And one of the things that I've identified is that most people are calling for something that they're not going to achieve on the phone. Right. So let's say that drilling fluid, never sold in my life. I have no idea the process. I suspect if I'm calling for drilling fluid, I'm just trying to get a meeting with the production foreman or whoever it is. Right. That's my goal. Like that's the goal. I'm highly unlikely that he is going to actually buy the fluid. Now, play my disagree. I don't know the same. It's highly unlikely that he's going to buy, 1 million gallons or whatever it is the first time. And so I think salespeople come in with a very wide, broad, no real agenda on what they're trying to close on that first call. And so to your point, they're not listening for the signals. But if you're saying, "Hey, listen, I want to meet with you," that's important in your sales process. I want to come here and meet with you, and they're like, whatever. No, we have nothing going on. We're not busy. Da da da. Well, then now you've kind of your goal was to meet with him. To your point, the cue was, I have nothing going on. Well, then meeting with him probably isn't really the goal with this guy. On the flip side, if he goes, I can't meet now because I'm super busy. To your point, if you don't catch him saying he's super busy and think about the implications of that, then you might miss the follow-up call, how to respond, how to tweak that on the second call, right? So those are I think you're right. There's a lot of signals and messaging that's going on. And what I found is if I call just broadly speaking, just like, "Hey, Ben, how's it going?" and I have no objective, then yeah, I'm going to miss all kinds of stuff. If I have an objective, it helps me understand where I'm going and then how they're responding to that. You agree or disagree?
Absolutely. I think that prep work for things that you do is incredibly important. Prepping and making sure that you have your ducks in a row before you pick up the phone is an incredibly vital skill.
We're back on that now. Okay. We're back.
I mean,
we're back. We've had 10 minutes. We had 10 minutes.
Listen, 10 is more than I figured. So that's not horrible.
Facts. So, what else you got, bud? So, should we expect like a LinkedIn update, Hawk Ventures LLC, pretty soon? Is that what you're telling us today? Are you breaking that news?
Clearly, you and I have to have some more words to be had off air about this whole Hoff Ventures situation.
Publicly, I feel like everyone that knows, we have witnesses, heard me call.
So for anyone that cares to weigh in, I'm sure no one will, because I'm sure no one will venture to jump in here. But so party A says, "Hey, it'd be really cool if we did this thing." Party B says, "I agree." Party A says, "I have no idea what to call this thing. What should we call it?" Party B says, "I don't know. What about this thing?" Party A says, "No, let's do it. Let's do this." Party B says, "Awesome. Sounds good." Next day, Party B calls and says, "You know what? Never mind. Don't want to do it anymore. Just forget it." Does A or B have the rights to the name that was born out of that process?
Just to be clear, if you're talking about EPSS, I'm not challenging that name. That is a.
I'm not. Okay. That's definitely mine.
That's you. That's not even contested. Okay? That's not even contested. That's not even contested. I'll even throw in the "we're hanging around" tagline. Okay. Okay. I'll throw that around.
We're not okay. This is on YouTube. We're not allowed. We're not allowed to talk about that. I know enough to know about that.
Okay.
Not okay.
Okay.
Not okay.
Okay. I'm just saying that's yours. That's yours. You can have that. You can have. You're just saying that like that's if you're done with that one. I don't know which one you're talking about because we had a lot of them. That's yours. So, just
No, it's just the final one because like we got off the phone with an agreement on we were going to do something. We know what we're going to call it, and we're a go. And then somebody said like let's do that and like form it and go through operating agreements and whatnot. And then like that same person then called back and was like, never mind. I'm just it's a good name.
Oh, okay. This is like when a boy and a girl get engaged. The boy gives the girl the ring. If he breaks it off, she gets to keep it. That's what I see. What you're saying here. I see what you're saying here. This is your engagement ring.
That seems elitist or sexist or something or misogynist or something. I don't know. That seems something.
Describing.
That seems to be something. I'm not sure. That seems to be accurate. I don't know.
It seems to be accurate. Yes, it seems to be very accurate. Okay, I tell you what. Right here on the podcast. See if
I'm sure everyone is so utterly confused.
Oh, good. This is it for them. I have an app. It's a coin flip app.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is not up for debate. This isn't. Absolutely not. Thank you.
Or to me,
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Much appreciated. What?
Bailey, Ryan Bailey, why are you coming in here on his side? Don't be on his side. No one likes
Ryan,
him.
thank you. You're a good man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Ryan.
The man has some wisdom over there, okay?
If someone's calling, if you're calling into the show, we're not taking calls today, so. Or do you want to take calls?
Yeah, definitely not. Absolutely not. And I doubt there is. No. That wouldn't go well for you.
Yeah, no calls.
Look, you're allowed to do. You can start something else. You can do something else.
Oh, is that Ryan? Who is Ryan Bailey? Is he like your new co-conspirator on things?
Well, if Ryan and I talked about doing something, he probably wouldn't bail the following day.
His name is Bailey. It's in the name. What are we doing here? It's in the name.
Okay, you're letting the facts for some reason. I don't know what's happening anymore.
Oh, gracious. Ryan, you're probably a good dude, but you're inside, so all bets are off. War has been declared. Why would you think it would be any other way?
See, because sometimes Ryan Bailey, because sometimes Ryan Ray has some really strange ideas and he needs to be checked. Thank you. It's nice to know sometimes that I'm not the insane one. It's good to have confirmation at times.
Who is Ryan Bailey? Oh wow, wow, Ryan Bailey. Okay, no more comments from that guy. What a Ben Samuels apologist. Okay, you nice. Between him and Clay, it's just like a beat up on Ryan party, and not Ryan Bailey.
I would like to point out, by the way, that you mentioned on the beginning of the podcast something about how people were ganging up on you, and you've done apparently nothing in the last 48 and a half minutes to change that. So, just gonna throw that out there. Just gonna toss that one out for fun.
I see your comment. Clearly, Ryan Bailey. So, who is Ryan Bailey again? Is he like the CEO of Hall Finch?
He's about to be. Huh? Ryan, call me. I've got a business opportunity for you. Got something. I've got an opportunity for you. I pitched it to somebody else that he decided to walk all over it and tell me.
Okay. I just want y'all to know, when you see me and Ben on YouTube, it's going to be aggressive from this point forward. It's going to be aggressive. Ryan Bailey, the show's called Don't Let the Facts. You can't believe what he's saying. Oh, what is going on? What happened to Twilight Zone?
Oh, this couldn't have gone any better. I couldn't have planned this any better. Oh, and by the way, he's Ryan. Don't get mad at me if I get this wrong, but I believe he is the ops manager for a geospatial project development SaaS tool. Don't ask me what it's called, but I think that's right.
Good for him. Good for him. Fat phone is down today, Clay, because we decided not to call.
Oh, that was Clay. You're lucky. You're glad that wasn't answered. I think Ryan has some words for you because.
So I can see the comments, just so y'all know. I make it easy, Ryan. Make it easy. What are we doing here?
Oh, sorry, am I behind a couple? That's possible.
Yeah, well, bad phones down. We decided it's war. We decided to be best.
Oh, I was close. Obfuscate logic. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I was in the ballpark. That's a pretty good. Buck there.
Yeah, that is a nice buck. Hey, Clay, when we sell all this stuff for you guys, we get a hunting trip going in? How that works?
You want to sell some geoscience solutions too?
I'll sell. Listen, whatever.
Look, anybody listening, if you want to get on this, if you want to have Ryan and I sign some deals for you, get some stuff done, be a part of the process, shoot one of us a message.
Winner gets the name. Winner gets the name.
If you call me and I tell you I'll do it, I won't back out the next day. That's all I'll say. You know.
Winner gets the name.
Done. Sold. Done. Now someone. See there you go. There's two. All right, Ryan, you don't even. Well, Ryan Ray, you don't even know what you've gotten yourself into. This is gonna be so good.
You don't even know what geoscience solutions are. So listen, this is gonna be a domination of epic proportion. So we're gonna be selling. We'll make it. So here we go. We'll set a 1 week parameter. Wow, Bailey, dude, what are you like? You're this. What's going on? Like, come in some slack, hey, talk. I mean, I'm just trying to get a word out. Bailey's just like
beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful, and this is unscripted, unprompted, unpaid.
Okay, so.
We should do this podcast more often. This is enjoyable. Yeah. We should do this more often.
We'll set maybe a week, 2 weeks to talk to a few companies, and we'll come back and we'll put it out there publicly what the terms are, and then because here we got to think through a sell for Clay. Is it units, or is it total revenue, or is it commission, or whatever? Let's figure all that out, and then we'll come back. We'll set the terms, what's the time limit, and then the winner gets Off Interest LLC. And bragging rights for life.
Can we see that?
I can see it. Take the comment off, but yeah, I can see it.
Oh, yeah. All right, what do we got here? What are we doing?
Wait, how am I bailing? What are you talking about? I'm not bailing on anything. I'm just saying you need a week to establish who the clients are.
I was looking for an about us. Is it this thing right here? Maybe it's this. Oh, that's definitely your wheelhouse. You should be able to sell more and more of that than me. I mean, it's not going to happen, but you actually ostensibly know about some of that stuff.
I mean, I work with Grand Jewish ambassadors. It's what's not in my wheelhouse. I thought that was a good line. You've still heard that you didn't like that.
I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say something. I won't say that. That'd be.
Ooh.
That'd be.
Take comment down.
What's happening? Yeah. Unbelievable.
Bailing on anything.
Yeah, he wasn't bailing on anything, and for whatever it's worth, Ryan, I will back you up. I'll fall on the same sword. I absolutely agree with that. Some things, you could work for a quarter. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say before. You could work for a quarter and not have results show from it. What I was going to say is that one of the things that I find really frustrating in the oil field is that a lot of the companies have that mentality of they hire some BD person or salesperson, and it's like, hey, 3 weeks in, like, hey, why haven't you made any sales? It takes a while to understand the process, but also it's just the sales cycle a lot of times is longer. So so when these companies have a revolving door of sales guys and they don't give them enough leeway to actually sink or swim, it can be tough. You're on mute.
Done. Get us, listen, retainer plus commission. Get it set up. Take any of it. It's got to be retainer plus commission, right, Ben?
I mean, I would think so. Yeah. So I mean, we've got Opsiologic, we've got Valence. We got to find a few more. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah. So I'm saying a week to 2 weeks. We'll see how it goes. It might take a month to get all these companies lined up, but we'll work on it.
I think given where we are in the calendar, we should look to start this like second week of January because the fourth quarter, like nothing happens.
Here's what we should do. We should have a JV to run these deals through.
I'm gonna pull the ripcord. So Thursday, September 30th. Don't want the facts. It's been good. It's been good, Ryan. It's nice to see you back. Are we gonna do this next week, or are you gonna bail on me again, like normal, as we've been talking about?
That's Mrs. Ray. Mrs. Ray, not me.
Oh wait, is next Thursday the? Oh, I definitely don't want that smoke. I don't want that smoke. We'll have to kick to the next week. Maybe we'll get a special episode in on Wednesday.
I mean, look, we have a football game at night, so we're not doing that next year. So I should be good, basically. But I'll go.
All right, Ryan, Clay, appreciate you coming in, joining us. Ryan, Ray, it's been something. So the war was declared. Was that like battle one? Was that sort of the opening battle?
Yeah, there was the shots have been fired. It's officially everyone knows that the war is here. This could scale continents, decades. Like this. There is no one side will have to get. You're talking about two massive egos here, two egos that cannot be contained by time and space. So
I feel like running with the Bulls next summer is going to be modeled into this somehow. I feel like.
Let's go.
We'll have to get to the drawing board and see what happens. Until next time, Ryan. Last time you accused me of cutting you off mid-sentence. I'm about to hit the ripcord. You got anything else you want to say?